Hi everyone. I am the Golden Frieza player.
I think I should start it off.
You want to start?
Yeah,
I guess.
I thought I'll cut it out. Yeah. Usually I start.
All right, you go.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We have a very special deck profile today. You guys saw the thumbnail. We have a Golden Frieza, but not just any Golden Frieza. We have one of the most best and expensive Golden Frieza deck profiles ever, featuring the one and only Kris Espo. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. I love this deck. It's really fun. Your opponent doesn't have any, so that's pretty much why I play it.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us. You went X2 at Gencon?
Yeah, I went X2 at Gencon.
Got 10th place. Yeah.
Yeah, I lost in round 7 and round 8, and I won my 9th round.
Awesome. So we're gonna do a deck profile over here. All you guys get to see this amazing deck that Espo has been working on since set 1, actually, and Golden Frieza finally is good. And luckily, you dodged the ban list, so this is gonna be
crazy. I can't wait to not dodge it next.
Yeah.
I'm getting the Z leader in the anti deck. That's why.
Yeah. All right, guys. We're gonna focus in on the cards over here. Let's start with the leader. Espo, this leader has dodge a ban list. Tell us what this leader does. Why is it so busted? Why is it so broken?
Because it's a yellow deck, or it's a yellow deck masquerading as a blue deck. You know, I get to untap. No one else does in their own colors except for blue.
Yeah.
It's on the front. One activate main once per turn. Place a Frieza army into your drop, and you get to untap 1, draw 1. When you flip, you draw 2 at 4. There's no alternate Secret Awakening condition.
Yep.
Same thing, except you untap 2 instead of 1. And then you can just swing and draw. So it's
You
almost
swing and draw.
it's a +2 every turn.
If you guys don't know what Golden Frieza does at this point, learn how to play Dragon Ball. Anyways, let's move on to the core of the engine. With this deck, you have to sack off Frieza armies. So let's start off with the Frieza armies. Let's see what you got. I know you got a couple of spice in there, so stay tuned for that, guys. It's not like your normal Golden Frieza profile. We got actual spice in this.
We'll start off. There's no Gohans in this. No Gohan unisons, right?
Yeah.
Wow. How did I get there with no unisons?
Exactly, right?
Crazy.
What does he use to finish his opponent? Let's see.
So off the bat, we're just going to talk about the we're going to talk about the the core of the deck. All these have a lot of text, and all it reads in reality is this card draws 1 card.
Yeah.
Frieza's Call gets the 1 drops. Figuring to cut it. So these are the Frieza armies that are basic to use. They all draw a card when they enter. All their text is for a different leader than this one, so that does not matter. I can't even do it if I wanted to. Frieza Call gets a 2 or less Frieza army, plays it rested. It can get them where you just place them in the drop and draw. It's just the normal tech for the deck. Nothing special about this.
Pretty standard.
Super combos. Playing for bottom deck, draw 2 super combos.
That's super combo. Yeah.
Best. It just depends on the deck, man.
Yeah.
This deck doesn't really need anything special.
Yeah.
Next is my Self-Awakening, which I usually argue with people about. I'm using 1 Frieza Malicious Streak, which I can get off Frieza's Call. And I'm actually playing 4 of the new Rivalry card from Wild Resurgence.
So you're going to get this question. Why no Roshi?
Roshi's a 1-drop that almost does the same as this, and I can spend the same energy. Like, you really don't have to take, I feel like, the 2 often. You really just want the 1 damage on yourself. And in addition, this can get double or dual, and and 5k for the turn it enters. So you get that same functionality of taking the life while also getting an offensive bit, which the deck lacks early on. And honestly, I enjoy getting these double strikes in early. Or even dual attacks if I need to clear the board very quickly early, has done a lot in the late game. This card has taken games for me when it's turn 6 and my opponent's trying to figure out what I'm going to do, and I have a 1-drop 20k dual or double. Like, I'm at 2, right? The turn 6, I'm getting double struck anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And you don't run the unison package, so this is a way for you to end games because you can't rely on that. Yeah.
Yes.
Makes sense. Okay. Have you ever played more than? Have you ever gotten the chain off where it sticks and then you use the effect? And
it's very hard to remove. It's a good target to combo with later on when it's not as useful because you don't want to take the life.
Right.
But untapping on your opponent's turn has probably been the best part of this card, because then they can't attack into it. They're still forced to attack you. And when it's out itself, since it untaps on your opponent's turn, you can use its skill to target itself, because it only says it doesn't untap during your charge if you play it for 1. But when you untap on your opponent's turn, it's auto, which is untap on your opponent's main phase. It doesn't. It gets around that, so you just untap anyway.
Yeah, it's solid. Love it.
This has been my favorite new card, Spirit Clash.
Yeah, I love this card. It's so busted.
It turns on my Vegetos, which you'll see later, for counterplays, and it gives you a little bit of Z energy early. The deck is very reluctant to combo early on because you don't want to lose your hand size advantage, but this is super great to just throw in there. When you play it for 2, it's going to replace itself. The part about it that makes it extremely strong is that you have to choose a Saiyan or Frieza army. It does not say battle card, just a card. You can choose your leader, and because this game makes you fulfill as much as possible, you can't place your leader in the Z energy, but you still get to play the card.
Yeah.
It's a 20k, so it gives you a little extra damage there. Its removal is huge. Being able to KO anything in rest mode that has barrier, including barrier, is insane. Card replaces itself, cracks anything in rest mode, and then it's a 20k. Now, my favorite part about it is I can play a 2 or less just Goku or Frieza that are yellow. That ties in with these guys. If I need to get another life taken or I just need that extra push,
yep.
I can remove this after swinging and play this from the drop.
More offense right there.
More offense, but also utility with it, because you'll see in the next cards I show, which is...
Were there any games where you missed it, you really needed it, and you couldn't draw into it? Because sometimes it's tough to see it, right?
I usually see 1 to 2.
Usually see it. Okay,
I
makes
very
sense.
rarely, the deck draws so
Yeah,
much.
it does.
You
It's
filter
Golden
a lot.
Frieza. Golden Frieza, yeah.
And this is probably my favorite part about this. I'm going to put these together for that reason. I'll bring one of these back. Riposte, Frieza, we all know what it does at this point.
Yeah, Riposte needs to be banned, but go ahead.
I think they should limit its auto. I think that's fair.
It's really strong.
Limit one on that auto, you can't get hit multiple times. Target for Frieza, but aside from that, nothing special. We all know what it does. The thing I'm doing with this is that Agony of Hell Frieza just says return a Frieza from your graveyard to your hand that is on play. You can't. It's not a Frieza army, so you can't play it with Frieza's Call. You can't really cheat it out most of the time. But there are 2 instances where I can actually cheat this card for free. If it's early on, I can use Malicious Streak's effect to take life and play it from my hand.
Right. Malicious Streak just says any
Frieza 2 or less, which will give me the auto to take back a Frieza, which has been really useful at times because you can actually kill this and then play this off of it to bring it back to hand.
It's just plus, you're plussing, yeah. And it's a
then
10k body.
Combo. Yes. That's not helping me as much as I wish it did.
Okay.
But my favorite thing is bringing back Ripostes with it.
So good.
This card brings back also any Frieza 2 or less. So I'll combo this early or play it early and bring back Riposte. I have played Riposte 6 to 7 times in some games, and my opponents were not happy about that. What was really funny is I ended up on a similar line with Legends. He was just bringing back super combos instead of this card to bring this deck.
Right.
His was more streamlined. Mine was more nonsense.
Yeah, exactly.
But it worked.
It worked. It worked out. Yeah.
It definitely did. I got to I've replayed the same Riposte multiple times.
Yeah. What was the maximum number of times throughout the event where you casted Riposte? What would you say? 4, 5?
7.
7.
Yeah. Trunk Zeno, I had to really not a fun time. But I got to, between removing and bringing it back, they were not happy.
Oh, I'm sure.
I do it all in the same turn. I combo this back off so they can't remove
7
warp
times.
it.
Wow.
Not happy. Not happy.
I don't blame him.
Next, we're just going to go in some defensive option cards.
The extra cards, yeah.
Extra cards, just counterplays really in general. Just the usual suite.
4 Vegetos. I've seen Golden Frieza list cutting this guy down to 2 actually, and side decking a 3rd, and you're just main decking 4.
I really like this card. It's just done so much for me, and especially again because you actively want to combo this card off. I have a lot of Z energy. I have a lot of times I have 2, if only because of this, but also early on. After you get your life down a few, you can combo 1 or 2 of these very easily early on. And again, because they untap on your opponent's turn, you want a little defense, you combo them off, you Z-charge them. I very rarely don't have 2 Z energy in this deck anymore, which was an issue I had a set or 2 ago. Now
it just feels too
safe.
good not to use.
Yeah, I'm always on it.
Talk to me about T-Below, yeah.
Everyone's playing a 3 or less Floodgate. That's the short on that one. You just got to deal with Floodgates. It's great in the mirror match. You riposte me, that's great. And then I blank your Unison. Same deal. They play their 1-drops to keep going. You blank their Unison afterwards. Oh, you don't have triple attack. You don't have anything. That kind of sucks, doesn't it?
Good point. I forgot I could do that too.
And then every other deck, blue has Android 17 Defending Friends, green, don't really have anything. I think
Well,
that
were there
this
any
hits.
matchups where you cited out all 3 copies, where you were like, I don't need any of these?
No,
guys?
I think
No?
every
Okay.
matchup I kept it in. Pretty much every matchup. I
Yeah,
kept it in.
every deck has some sort of starter engine, like Trunks Xeno, they want to play the 2-drop. 21 cracked against 21. They have so many.
This really great 21. You stop them from ramping early,
Exactly,
and they waste their energy.
And the mirror, like you said, it's so good in the mirror because I would forget about it. And Bloodlust is Bloodlust. You got to run Bloodlust.
Yeah, Bloodlust does. Everyone, set one, just blank a card. Absolutely great in certain matchups. Golden Cooler, haha.
Exactly.
The biggest reason too I didn't run unisons is I think everyone's prepped for it. That's my biggest thing. I had a lot of people be like, I brought in all this unison hate, and I was like, damn, that's crazy.
You don't have unisons.
I have no unisons.
Dragon Slaying Bullet and all that.
They were just like, you didn't do anything. I was like, correct.
Yeah, because I don't have them. Yeah.
This is just my basic, like a few negates. Nimbus because
Gotta
there's
have Nimbus,
a lot of go wide decks now. I use this as a negate a lot, actually. And then just 2 life-taking negates for blockers. I don't want to run too many of them anymore because there's just so many ways for that little blocker to get killed before it does anything.
Right.
Running at a 4 was bad.
Power of a Super Saiyan, how do you feel about that?
I love it. I mean, it's too strong. That's why it's at 1. I wish it was at 4. I would immediately slot 3 in.
A lot of people have been a little bit off about Power of a Super Saiyan lately, but it's a good card. It's at 1 for a reason, right?
100%. I think I have negated more attacks with this than people expect.
Yeah.
And they're
It
just
is a
like,
negate.
that is a negate for 1. That's crazy.
Hard negates are always so good.
Yeah, just sometimes you need to do it. This is the one card I honestly wish I didn't have in my. I play 60 in the main. My 75. I just didn't use this card ever.
Really, people
There was
did not.
a single person brought in the anti-untap cards. I think they're so used to the guys playing like 3
Secret Identity.
that they were like, there's no point. I'm just gonna waste the spot. You know what I mean?
So never really saw play.
I mean, I made use of it, but
Yeah, because you have to at that point. It's a cantrip, right?
Yeah, I would cantrip it if I really had nothing to do. Maybe kill like a Dark Power Black Mass Sand that doesn't really affect me anymore because of the way I play, and then also like Nimbus discard.
Yeah,
like
it's
I
true.
got to discard it with Nimbus. Like that was great.
Okay. So next time going forward, do you think you wouldn't include it at all, or would you still
I
side
would
it?
probably side it, but I definitely am not going to main it.
It's necessary evil, one of those things.
100%.
Yeah.
3 sins. This card should be banned. I can play this turn 2
can,
if
yeah.
it goes well. If I
This
get
deck plays it the best, other than Sin.
if I go Frieza's call, turn 1/2, it's live and
Yeah.
it's too strong.
No, it's
Blocking,
amazing.
swinging twice. It's a dual attack. She says I'm a dual attacker too.
How do you feel about this card in the green matchup? Because they have such easy barrier removal.
That's
Especially
probably
mid-late
the
game.
only matchup I don't really care for it.
Okay.
But every other matchup, it does something
So good.
relevant.
Especially against blue.
Blue Android 21. Like the biggest thing with Android 21 with this deck, it's a bad matchup, but you just bait them into their 8-drop. As soon as that comes down, if you respond with this, yeah, sure, it gets removed. But the only thing you care about is they don't on tap 5 anymore.
They don't,
And
especially
then
if
they're
they're
like,
tapped
oh, I
out.
lose.
Yeah.
99% of the time.
Cracking them
I
on
do
the
not
back.
play battle cards against them that stick on the board. I will always remove everything, and they have to either. I'll leave me 1 to bait them into it, but other than that, I will hold everything back defensively.
Yeah.
But he's way too strong.
Yeah, he's
I
great.
honestly, I don't see this not getting banned in the future.
Okay. Yeah.
It's too good. It's too good. I also don't like Shatterfoil. That's why these are gold only.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And that's the same why I don't have pre-release stamps. I don't like pre-release stamps.
Fair.
I have my Winter Bergamo.
Now, how often did you play this guy? Come on.
He was a few times. He's not good in like the Trunk Zeno matchup, and he's not good in the red matchup. But like honestly, in a lot of the other matchups, between all the ways you can tap your opponent's stuff down, I still played him a decent chunk of time. Probably 4 to 5 in my match, 4 or 5 times.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I cut him from my list completely. For it just personally, some people they want to keep it below. You just went 60, so
I'm
definitely
a hard 60.
Yeah, hard 60.
I'm a big
yeah.
advocate of that, but that's my Magic days.
Helps you against Mill.
Yeah. I have 2 Black Kamehameha still. I see a lot of people cutting down on these a lot.
Yeah.
But I still like it at 2. It's got a lot of uses, and especially since I'm using Bergamo, they work
really
hand in
good.
hand.
Oh yeah.
I still think it's a good card to play, at least 1 or 2. If you have a lot of extra energy sometimes, and that puts people off hard.
Sometimes they'll forget about it.
Yeah.
Hopefully the thing is people start playing it less and they'll start forgetting about it and then start abusing it.
I'm gonna go over a few of the one-ofs. I mean,
Nice.
These guys are just the usual business for yellow. We got a 1-drop double striker turn 4. He helps close out games.
So good.
Counter. This is unfair.
Yeah.
I see this getting banned too. I don't know why it hasn't been banned yet, to be honest. It's just unfair that you deny the mechanic of the game and yellow has enough beaters.
And then you can untap 2 energy with your leader and make it essentially.
That's why. The fact that I can do this and just essentially play 1, that's not fair.
Yeah.
That's not fair. Battering Laser is banned for a reason.
Yeah. And the Frieza.
He's hard to remove. He sticks on board. Blue is pretty prevalent, so even Android 21 doesn't really have an out to this card.
Yeah, they have no out. Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, I don't want to negate because I get all my stuff tapped out.
Yeah.
So he definitely still is a good card. He doesn't get the block ever because they just tap him, but he does his work.
No, it's good.
I have a small. I play only 2 Overrealms. Actually, and that would be Secret Identity and a Vegeta.
Okay. So tell me about Vegeta. Did you ever miss the second copy of Secret Identity?
No. Between honestly with the Spirit Clash removing a lot of cards, and they were having to deal with the 15k swings from the Goku Vegeta. People didn't really get to keep a huge board against me. It was really nice, actually. It was very surprising because I'm used to my opponent having such a massive board, and then maybe clearing it out with this. But the Spirit Clash is not balanced.
The good old days, yeah.
Just cracking things, ignoring barrier. It's very strong. It's just they have their utilities. They definitely have
do,
utilities.
Vegeta's more for tall and Secret Identity is more for wide. So your deck is sort of like a toolbox deck where you have answers
play
to
very
that.
toolkitty.
Yeah. Which is, I think, the best way to use Golden Frieza. It's so good.
Final Flash. Final Flash.
You gotta have it.
You gotta put the fear of God into
gotta
for
respect
the 1.
it.
You gotta respect it. It's, again, another tool for Android 21.
Yeah.
Definitely just, hey, you played your 8-drop, you swung, that was a mistake. I'll take the 1 and you don't get to untap, I win. Yeah. Every time I beat 21, it's because they played the 8-drop and I stopped it from untapping. That's the key in the Frieza matchup. Just don't play the 8-drop. It's a trap. It's a trap.
It's all a trap.
Just kill with everything else.
Just use it as combo instead.
Yes.
Whoa, hold on a second. Whoa. What do we have here?
Oh, we have our universe at stake.
That doesn't look like universe at stake, buddy.
Oh, it's the Ghost Rider, baby. Come on. You warned them it was going to be an expensive deck.
So, were you actually running this card in your deck for Gencon?
100%. I'm sure everyone heard the story, but the guy who spilled water, I had this out when that happened. Luckily, I had the deck triple sleeve for a reason.
The baby.
And when the water fell on it, I just was like, whatever. I have 3 sleeves of protection.
Yeah.
I actually had someone mention to me, one of the players nearby were like, yo, I was surprised you didn't kill the man. I was like, look, it's 3 layers of cards. I really doubt it got in there. I'm fine.
So what were the reactions of people's when you just slammed this card down against them?
I think I got it named by Joshua.
Yeah.
He actually called me out and he was like, yo, he had a ridiculous deck. He was playing a Ghost Rare. And I like to max rarity, so I was playing the Alt Art Golden Cooler for my secret.
That's your secret. You gotta run the cooler.
So he saw both of them, was just like, you're nonsense. And I was like, yeah. But I love it.
I mean, look, that's the fun of this game. That's why I love Dragon Ball, is because, the arts are fantastic. And the game is good enough to where you can actually have these amazing collectible cards and play them. And it's just amazing. Dragon Ball is so unique in that. Because the arts all look sick.
This art is very surprising to see how nice it is in person.
Oh, yeah.
This card definitely took games for me. Just tapping your opponent's energy. He essentially has dual attack.
Yeah.
And it's not once per turn on his skills. Either removing cards or tapping their energy down on the swing really made it rough on my opponents. And I don't mind tapping out my board. So getting him to untap was not hard either.
Yeah.
Because that's the condition. But when he swings, tapping anything is huge.
And usually what Z battle card would you have?
I would do one of 2. I'd either do Oolong to,
just get a 1 energy,
extra,
of course.
Another 30k or something. Or I had already set up an Evolved Defender.
Okay.
Both of these were huge in the event.
And since we're going into the Z deck, let's see the rest of the Z deck cards as well.
And I don't really think I have to talk about Golden Cooler. He's not balanced. You have no hand. I get to swing 15 times.
Was there... there was one matchup you sided him out, right?
Yes. Yes, I had one matchup I had to side out the Golden Cooler.
Hilarious.
I played against the 3 Han.
Yeah.
I knew he was only charging the 3, and I said, well,
you can only charge the 3.
Yeah, I can't play this. I cut it. But the problem with that deck is it crumbles to Riposte and Vegito because they don't have a lot.
Especially when you play 7 Ripostes.
Yes.
They have
he was not happy.
They have no answers to that.
Z deck is nothing crazy. I think it's pretty normal for.
Yeah, of course.
I'm playing. The only one I think is a little weird is maybe the
Gamma.
Gamma 2.
Okay, yeah, because you have Gamma and you have Wulong. Yeah.
I actually probably gonna cut this. I don't.
Really?
I
Wow.
never feel like I have to self awaken anymore because
You don't
I
get
have so
stuck at 6 live, 5 live.
well, just because I'm playing between the Spirit Clash, being able to bring back Rivalry and Rivalry itself.
Yeah, because you're running 4 copies of those
Yeah,
guys.
4 and 4.
Okay.
And
What would you replace with the Vegeta?
maybe another Oolong. I don't know.
Yeah, bro. People don't see 2 Oolongs.
Yeah,
Maybe,
that's,
maybe bring back the mirror chain. Mirror Oolong combo.
I can't.
Did you ever have a chance to play this Vegeta or this Goku?
The Goku I played once in a losing matchup because I had nothing to do.
Okay.
But it didn't do anything. It just,
3 Z energy is a lot. Yeah.
Again, it's not even a matter of the Z energy. He just I was already lost the game, and I just was like, I don't have another play.
What
so
matchup
I
was
played
that?
it. I think it was Android 21. My opponent ended up burning me twice. They just were like, top 4, you lose a life.
Yeah,
top 4, you lose
Android
life.
21
And I was
is-
like, cool.
Cool.
Yeah, I had no response.
Have fun.
Yeah.
And what about Vegeta?
I played him a decent chunk. Just
Love this card
the
so much,
removal
by
is
the way.
great, and then a little bit of pressure, that dual attack. And if it's rested, you get the critical, which is great.
Yellow having a way to get rid of barrier with it not being in rest mode, I think, is just game changer. Yeah.
if
The
for
Spirit
certain-
Clash is good, don't get me wrong, but the card has to be in rest mode.
Yes.
Sometimes your opponent will play around that, and Vegeta just comes out and says, yep, swooping it up. Yeah.
This is probably my most played Z battle card.
Oh, yeah.
It's still just being able to make something unable to attack you, and then when they play cards,
Including their
rest
leader.
them. Yes.
Yeah.
That helped in a lot of matchups when their leaders have special skills. Gohan, it helped against. It gets removed easily against Gohan, but also it is what it is.
You get the value when you can.
Another function too is it is targetable with this to play, and you kind of want to keep this in rest mode.
That's true, yeah. I didn't even think about that, yeah.
So it works. So sometimes I'll just target it afterwards to put a little pressure, and then he stays in rest mode, sure, but I want him in rest mode so I can rest your stuff.
Yeah, fair
So
enough.
it's actually come in clutch with that sometimes.
Awesome. And this was best of 1 pre-side, so
Best of 1 pre-side.
let's go over that side deck. Now, let us know while you're going over the side deck. Definitely let us know which cards you felt as if, definitely put in a lot of work, and some cards you think, never again.
Muay Taito was definitely
Did it come in every matchup?
not every matchup, but a lot of my matchups. It just was. Everyone's obviously playing big cards. I played against Trunk Zeno. Boom, you stop there, big triple
Yeah,
striker,
Gohan,
or the dual attacker
Vegito.
even.
Yeah.
I played Vegito, set 2 Vegito round 1. Huge. 'Cause
Didn't play me, you lucky.
I know. Yeah. Everything there is a 10-8 drop, and you just don't want it to swing
Oh,
at you.
yeah.
So, it good on that. Gohan slows him down. You don't get
So good.
hit.
Yeah.
It came in a lot of matchups.
Did you ever resolve it against Gohan when they played their Vegeta off the time chamber?
No, I never
No?
had it.
Okay.
No, it wasn't that cool.
That's usually the
Wasn't that cool. Wasn't that cool.
one of these days.
One day.
One day. Yeah.
The Boras for literally the Gohan matchup.
Yeah.
I just don't want to get discarded, and it is what it is.
Yeah, you need the burrows.
Nothing special.
And you
about
have the
that.
energy to use the burrow as
Oh
well.
yeah, you have so much. That's why I played over the Gohan. You
Over the
usually
Gohan,
have
yeah.
that extra 1 or 2 in drawing 2. It really helped in the matchup.
Yeah, solid.
Really helped.
Okay.
Meki Kabura, because I really don't like the Android 21 matchup.
Mm-hmm.
But I was surprising how useful it was in certain matchups. Like Trunk Zeno, I had to move some cards out, and like these came in.
Yeah.
And just being like, oh, you can't play your 5-drop, which means you're not allowed
your
to play your
secret rare,
8-drop. It's a risk because you don't know if they're playing Cumber. Most of them are playing Cumber.
If it's
but,
no warp, yeah.
oh, if you know it's there, yeah,
Yeah,
it's just like,
100%,
you're not
yeah.
doing it to me.
No, that card is all about knowledge. The better the player is, the better the card is.
It was super useful.
Yeah.
Super useful. I got to name some key cards that like people
So
were
good.
like, but I was like, no. To me, right now,
So
that's
good.
the card I don't want to see.
Yeah, so good.
Black Smoke. I mean, hey, it's
Gotta
just a
run.
catch-all.
Yeah.
It handles most problems.
Hand destruction, barrier removal, unison removal.
Not hand destruction. You draw 2.
Yeah, exactly. No, against hand destruction.
against hand.
Yeah.
It always just has some use.
Yeah. And then Z energy too, combo it away.
Absolutely. Koitsukai. I mean,
Okay.
another way to stop your opponent from playing counter.
What matchup did you bring Koitsukai into?
I didn't. I didn't.
Okay. Well,
I don't
obviously
think-
you know what you had
I
in there
think
for.
I brought it in against 3 Han,
Yeah.
but like that was it, and that was just because I had space because there's a lot of like not as useful cards against
Yeah,
them.
because they don't charge past
Yeah.
yeah.
But like a lot of the decks I played against, just they didn't do that anyway, so it was like no point.
Okay.
I actually maybe might move it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Another 5-drop Frieza, again, certain matchups. It's great against
Blue,
is good against blue, but it's also good against. It's honestly good against green. They go that Gohan does go into that like 5, 6, 7 turn.
Okay.
Again, it has no way to remove this card.
They have no way to get rid of it.
No way to remove it. So you at least have a blocker. You remove things, and then if they negate, you're like, all right, I'll stop your leader from, doing anything and an energy.
Yeah.
Death Blaster, because I don't like.
Gotta respect Cooler. Yeah.
Yeah, Golden Cooler's problem. I mean, it's useful in certain matchups, but it came in if I thought my opponent was playing Golden Cooler.
Okay. Ever resolved the Death Blaster?
Yeah, I've used Death Blaster.
Okay.
Oh, certain things, like Android 21 8-drop.
Yeah. The 8-drop has the flex.
Oh, not the 8-drop.
The 5-drop probably.
The 4-drop, not 4-drop.
4-drop. Okay.
Because I don't want them to ramp. Once it's in, it's got unique, so you don't care. You just have to deal with it.
True.
And then this is just personal.
Yep.
I honestly never saw a time I brought this in, but you know what? I was prepped in case I had to go into that long slog against some slow.
Maybe you play against a Hachiak or something.
Yeah, and this just wins the matchup.
And you just auto win against
I lost the Bulma a while back.
I know.
Oof, this card hurts Bulma.
Yeah,
real bad.
Yeah, they have no answers for it.
So
it's good. All right, awesome, man. Thank you so much for your deck profile.
It was a pleasure.
What were your losses against? I don't think we discussed that. You said you had 2 losses.
Android 21 and Green Gohan.
Green Gohan, okay. What would you do against those decks better? Anything
I mean, honestly, Green Gohan, I should have just played my Golden Cooler. I psyched myself out 2 turns in a row.
Yeah.
He just left like 2 to 3 energy on tap. And I was like, he's got something.
He's green.
I'm going to walk myself. Yeah, I know, but I was like, why would you do that, right? Unless you have a trap for me. You know it's a turn 5, right? Maybe he's just prepped. No, sometimes he just did it.
Yes.
Hey, he said if I played it, he probably would have lost. There's a good chance of it. Yeah. I wish I just Whirlwind Slammed it. I wish I Whirlwind Slammed that.
And the 21, that was a tough matchup, right?
It's a crapshoot. The player
was a very good player. Yeah.
Very strong player. Knew exactly how to deal with Golden Frieza. Was smart. Did not play the 8-drop. Comboed them all off. It's the key. Don't play the 8-drop.
Don't play the 8-drop. They do.
And it just slowly grinded me out, doing little pings. Just got me to 2, and then was like, okay, I have 2 the burn bad omens in hand, and just bad omen. And so you got it. Yeah. That's game. I can't do anything. Yeah. That was really what it was.
The deck didn't get hit, so we're definitely going to be seeing more of this deck. I think it's undisputable at this point. I think it's the best deck in the meta, arguably, but I think it's top 3 100% for sure. Undisputable top 3, yeah.
Doesn't have as many tops.
Yeah.
It's got a few in there.
It does have a few in there all across the regions, but it's such a flexible deck. Thank you so much for your deck profile. I really appreciate it. And we hope to see you again. And definitely we'll see you at Nats for sure. Congrats on your invite.
I wanted my invite. I played in 1 regional, got my invite. I'm probably not going to be playing any of the regionals until
so we'll see you at Nats.
I'm a lazy man.
Yep. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. And thank you guys so much for subscribing. Stay tuned for more videos. Bye.